Hello, I'm Bridget. Welcome to Reformer class. I'm really excited to have you today. Today's going to be a level 2 class with a good amount of balance work kicked in. So let's get started. As always, we're going to start with a little footwork because it drops us into our bodies, out of the clouds, and gets us warmed up. So I like to do footwork with my head rest up. I also like to do footwork on 2 reds, a green, and a yellow spring, which is medium heavy for footwork. We don't want it too heavy so the larger muscles take over, and we don't want it too light because we want to get some work out of it. So let's lay you all the way down on your back and get started. Once you lay all the way down, the first thing that you have to do is line up your shoulders and line up your hips. You don't want to be doing footwork skewed to one side. Place your toes on the foot bar and kiss your heels together in a small Pilates V. You should have a right angle, the angle of the degree of your feet, very important. Find a neutral pelvis position, so drop that tailbone down. I have a tendency to tuck. And on an inhale, push the machine all the way out to straight legs and pause. From here, I pop my head up, I look down at my toes, and I actually line my feet up on the foot bar. Usually I'm skewed to the right a little bit. Bending your knees, pull the machine back in towards the stopper. And yes, I have a large golden retriever with a tennis ball, so be prepared today. He's a little amped up. Lengthening out and resisting in. 6 more to go. Inhale, press. And exhale, resist for 6. Inhale, lengthening out the legs. Exhale, resist for 5. Inhale, reach, pulling your inner thighs together, squeezing your heels for 4, pressing the legs open, bending in for 3. A lot of pressure into the heels as you resist, pulling the machine back in towards the stopper for 2. Lengthening out, bending your knees, coming all the way in or halfway in and holding. Sorry, a little distracted by the dog. And pulse down 8. Squeeze those heels together 7. That's gonna really activate the glutes and inner thighs 6. Pelvic floor lifts for 5. 4, arms are pressing down 3. 2, lengthen the legs all the way out to straight and hold. Separate the heels, feet are now parallel, and drop your heels underneath the foot bar. Take a nice calf stretch down. And I just got a tennis ball thrown at my calf. When ready, bend your right knee and increase the stretch through your left calf. Toby, we can't play right now. And increase the stretch through the left calf. Good dog, though. Good dog. And hold here for about 3 more breaths. Breathe for 3. Yes, you're such a good dog. The perks of doing at-home Pilates for 2. When ready, lift. Oh, and you're perfect height to lift my ear canal. Lift and switch to the opposite side, bending your left knee, letting your right heel now stretch out for about 3 deep breaths right there. Breathe for 3. Inhale, exhale, breathe for 2. Last one, lift both heels up nice and high, and now we get to work your calves a bit. Let's lower both heels under, roll through your foot to lift both heels back up for 8, lowering down, lifting up for 7. Think about trying to articulate your feet as much as you can for 6, because then you're gonna get work through the calves and through the feet for 5. Dover, no squeaky toy right now. Lift 4. Oh man, it's one of those classes. Breathe for 3, Dovey. 8. Take 2. I promise you'll calm down in a minute. Fingers crossed. Lift and hold. Bend your knees, come all the way in with parallel legs, and press back out with parallel legs reaching away. Bending in, resisting in. I apologize about the squeaky toy, and lengthen all the way back out. We have 6 more. Bending in for 6, and inhale, press. Resisting in, there's 5. Reaching away. Dover, 8, buddy, not right now. Bending in for 4. Reaching out. Here's 3 more. Once again, my pelvis is still neutral. Back of the neck is long, but chin is up. I have a bad habit of tucking my chin too much, so really chin up. There's 3. As I pull the machine down, I try to get more work on the way in than on the way out for 2. Bringing it halfway in and pausing. Pulse it down. 8, 7, 6. Arms pressed down for 5, 4. Here's 3. Take 2. Last 1. Press the machine all the way out and pause. We're going to go into prancing. So bend one knee, push the opposite heel down without letting the pelvis move. Inhale, lift, and exhale, switch to the opposite side and press. Lift and lower. Take it for 6. Lift and press 5. Once again, is your pelvis still perfectly neutral for 4? Here's 3, creating resistance in the body for 2. Last one right here. Both heels lift up. Bend both knees, come all the way in. If your headrest is up, please flip it down flat, really important. And we will wiggle off your shoulder blocks just an inch or so. So you create a little space there, half an inch is fine, for pelvic curls. Now you can do your pelvic curls on your toes, arches, or heels. Toes will be more challenging. Taking an inhale here, on your exhale, you're going to tuck the pelvis, pushing your low back down before you peel your vertebra up and off the machine. Inhale, holding the top. If you are on your toes, keep your heels low and then roll the spine back down, one vertebrae at a time. Think about your spine as a string of pearls on a tabletop, the carriage top, and you're going to push the pearl down before you lift them off individually. So one at a time, peeling up and off. Reach those knees forward, widen the collarbone, inhale, holding. Exhale, rolling back down, one vertebrae at a time, widening the collarbone. Eventually the tailbone comes down. Keep pulling the machine in towards the stopper. Take it up for 4 more. Rolling up, lifting up. There's 4. Accessing both glutes. Inhale, holding. Exhale, roll it back down. It's always good to do a little bit of a body scan when you do this. My right side likes to take over for my left, so I'm actively telling my left side to work harder, pull a little bit more weight. You've got this. So kind of check in on your body. Is one side working more than the other? Are they about even? Rolling back, one vertebrae at a time. On the next one, we're going to lift and hold up there for some work. So take an inhale here, exhale, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. We're just going to start with 8 pulses up of the pelvis. So from here, keeping your heels low if you're on your toes, little pulse up for 8, little pulse 7, tucking the pelvis for 6, breathe 5, arms pressed down, 4, pull the machine in towards the stopper for 3 to get even more glute work out of it, 2, pause right there. Whenever I do single leg pelvic curling work, I like to take my hands onto my hip bones. I'm not holding my pelvis in place. I just want to make sure that it's not moving around or I don't shift around. So I'm going to bring my right leg into tabletop, reach the right leg straight up towards the ceiling, point the right toe. We're not going to move the leg at all. You're going to circle the foot around from the ankle for 8, circle 7, breathe for 6. Oh, that feels good. 5. The left glute should be doing a lot of work. 4. Pelvis still hasn't moved for 3, 2, and reverse the direction of the foot for 8, 7, 6. There's 5, 4. Getting some good cracks in my foot. Opening up for 3, 2, and then hold the pointed toe. Pulse the hips up. 8, 7, 6, 5. Pelvis is still lined up. 4, 3, 2. Keep the right leg reaching up as you roll down your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Eventually the tailbone comes down, you replace the right foot onto the foot bar, you cross the left ankle to your right knee, and go for a nice figure 4 stretch on that left side. Breathing right there. Whew. Whenever I do figure 4, I make sure that my bottom ribs and my bottom hips are nicely lined up. And breathe for 3. Inhale, exhale, take it for 2. Some people like to hug the shape in towards them, whatever works best for your body. And last breath, just stretching open that left hip because it was doing a lot of work in case the piriformis got a little tight. So let's replace both feet back down, make sure the shoulders and the hips are lined up, toes, arches, or heels are on. We've got to do that opposite side. So tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, roll your hips all the way up towards the ceiling and hold. Hands come onto your hip bones to keep the pelvis completely steady or to make sure it stays completely steady. Left leg tabletop, extend it straight up towards the ceiling. Without letting the leg move, circle that ankle around for 8. Circle 7. Breathe 6. 5. Your right glute's really working for 4. 3. Take 2. And reverse the direction of that circle for 8. Circle 7. Breathe 6. Hello, right glute doing all the stabilization for 5. 4. 3. 2. Hold the pointed toe. Pulse up 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Keep that leg reaching up as you roll down your spine. One vertebrae at a time. Once the pelvis comes neutral, replace the left foot down, cross the right ankle to your left knee, push your right knee away, finding that neutral pelvis. Make sure the hip bones are lined up or hug the shape in towards you, and breathe right there for 4 breaths. Breathe for 3. We have your series of 5 coming up next. I'm going to flip my headrest up for that because it's just more comfortable on my neck. 2 more deep breaths, opening up the right hip. Dover, you've got to leave the squirrel alone. And last one, Dovey, 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 no squirrel. Oh man, I apologize about the squeaky toy and the golden retriever. Okay, series of 5. So we're going to sit yourselves up and take the foot bar down. It just gives you a little bit more range of motion through the legs. If you know you like your foot bar up, you can leave it in place. Once the foot bar's all the way down, we're just going to lay you right back down onto your back. If you have a sweater or an outer layer on, I suggest taking it off now. Line yourself up on the machine. So line up the shoulders, line up the hips, and also make sure you have at least an inch from your shoulders to the shoulder blocks. Bring your legs into a nice true tabletop. Reach those arms straight up towards the ceiling. Inhaling here. On your exhale, we're going to start with 5 chest lifts up. Peeling up and off. There's 5. Inhale, resisting back down. Exhale, lift for 4. Bringing it back. Here is 3. Resist. Think about sinking your abdominals down for 2. As you lift up, you're going to be tempted to tuck your pelvis. Try to keep the pelvis completely neutral. Lift to hold. Hands can do one of 3 things. They can stay down by your side. They can come behind the head. Or as you extend the left leg out, you can take them on top of the right knee. We're going to exchange these legs 8 times. Switch 8. Abs to spine 7. Breathe for 6. Exhale 5. Take 4. Breathe for 3. Last 2. Switch last 1. Pull both knees in, curl up a little bit higher. From here, extend your arms and legs away in opposition. If this bothers your neck, just take your hands behind your head. Circle the arms around, pull the knees back. There's 8. Length. Circle for 7. Reach. Breathe for 6. Whew. Inhale, extend. Exhale, resist. 5. Press, taking it around for 4. Lengthening out. Breathe for 3. Inhale, exhale, circle 2. Length, circle, last 1. Extend those legs straight up towards the ceiling. You can keep them in parallel or take them into turnout, whatever feels best for you. Hands come behind the head to support the neck. Once again, you can let your head rest down, holding onto the silver pegs if that feels better for your body. Lower the legs down on an inhale. Exhale, sink the core and lift the legs 8 times. Ooh, my neck is getting me. Lowering down and lift for 7. Inhale and exhale, breathe for 6. Lowering down, sinking the abs to bring them up for 5. Try not to use momentum. Really engage that low core, and that's what brings the legs up for 4. Inhale, exhale, breathe for 3. Lower, scoop, and then lift for 2. Inhaling down, lift and hold. Bring yourself back into the chest lift. If your head was down, grab behind your right calf. Lower your left leg down so it lightly touches your foot bar. Pulse your right leg in towards you twice. Go exhale, exhale. Exchange the legs, grab the left leg and pulse it in twice. Exhale, exhale. Back to the right for 6. To the left for 5. To the right for 4. Here's 3. Take 2. Last one. So my left leg is up, my right leg is down. I'm gonna take my hands behind the head and twist towards the leg that's up. Switch legs, switch rotations. 8, up and over. 7, breathe. 6, exhale. 5, take 4, 3, there's 2, up and over. Last one. Hug your knees in. I'm always glad I did it. I'm always grateful. I'm done with it for the day is how I feel about the series 5. Whew. Another deep breath. We have to pop your foot bars back up to finish off your footwork. So I'm gonna sit myself up. Take that foot bar back to where it needs to be. I'm working on the Balanced Body Classic Studio Reformer with the Revo foot bar, so I like it in the center rung where the slide locks in. We're gonna finish off the footwork, so we'll lay you all the way back down. First things first, line yourself up. Line up the shoulders, line up the hips, hands come down by your side, pelvis is in neutral. I'm externally rotating from the hip socket, so my knees are turned out, and I want you to think about where your feet are in space. So the feet have got to stay completely steady. Dover. I'm sorry, you guys, about the squeaker. Lengthen all the way out. I now realize I have to put the squeaky toes away. Resist, pull the machine back in. Keep working, lengthening out. Dover, you can't squeak that right now. Let me take it away. Sorry, buddy. And resisting back. My apologies, everyone. Pressing out, reaching away, bending back in. We've got 5 more to go. Press for 5, and resisting back. A golden retriever is now giving me the evil eye for 4. Don't you dare. Bringing it back, and I think we've got the squeaky toy back for 3. Oh man, resisting in. It's definitely a Friday. Take it for 2. Oh, no, bringing it all the way back. Pressing out. Last one. Bring it halfway in and hold. Pulse it down. 8, 7, 6. Breathe. 5. Dover bear. 4, 3. Pelvic floor for 2. Last one. Press all the way out. Resist. Come all the way in. Keep your feet wide. Drop down onto your toes. With wide toes, you're now going to stabilize your heels. Push the machine all the way out with wide toes, bending your knees, resist, pull the machine all the way back in towards the stopper. Lengthening out there. 7, resisting in. Your heel should be completely steady in space for 6, bending back. Press, there's 5. Pulling the machine in towards the stopper. As you bend your knees in, make sure that pelvis stays neutral for 4. You're almost gonna feel like you push your tailbone down as you bend the knees. Length for 3. Resisting back. 2 more right here. Press for 2. Bending in. Press last one. Bring it halfway in once again and hold. Pulse it down. 8, 7, 6, there's 5, 4, 3, pulse 2, last one. Press the machine all the way out, bending your knees, coming all the way into the stopper. Prehensile, my favorite footwork. Some people like it, some people don't, but we're gonna do it next. So arches on, feet are 2 to 3 inches apart, East Coast or West Coast style. If you want to squeeze your legs completely together, East Coast style, you're more than welcome to. With your arches on, push the machine all the way out and hold. So we're gonna keep the arches on the apex of the foot bar, but we're gonna lower our heels down as much as we can and knuckle the toes around. So we don't wanna scoot our feet down, we just wanna reach those heels under. Wrap those feet around, birdie on a perch, sloth on a branch, chameleon in a tree. As you bend your knees in, keep your heels as low as possible. They're gonna wanna lift up. Press the machine all the way out. Bending in. Inhale, reaching away. Let's take it in for about 6. Oh, I get good cramping work through my feet, good work through my feet, and I stretch through my Achilles tendon for 5. And a lot of what I like to think about is the underbutt, because I keep my pelvis in neutral for 4. Pressing away. Here's 3 more. Bend for 3. Lengthening out. 2. Inhale, reach. And once again, bring it halfway in and hold for your pulses. Pulse it down. 8, 7, 6. Pelvis is neutral. Chest is proud. 5. Upper abs are working. 4, 3. Pulse 2. And last 1. Taking it all the way out to wash it out. Bending your knees, coming all the way in and holding. Scoot off the shoulder blocks just a half an inch or so. Reach your hands around, hold on to your silver pegs. Bring your legs into tabletop. Squeeze those knees together. Think about you super gluing your knees together so they can't slide around at all. Your shoulder blades are going to stay on the mat as you twist your legs to the right for spine twist supine. Give a big exhale, pull the legs back to center. Twist the legs to the left, taking them over. Feels so nice on the back, and exhale, center. So my hips, obviously, one lifts off at a time, depending on which way I'm twisting. My knees stay completely glued together, and my shoulder blades stay down. So we keep this in a lumbar twist and lower thoracic twist. Taking it over and center. Let's take it to the right for, what are we on? 4, and center. To the left for 3. Twist, reaching out that right elbow to keep that right shoulder blade down. To the right for 2. Whoo. And center. To the left, last 1. Twisting over. And exhale, center. We're going to go into an exercise called a corkscrew next. So we extend your legs straight up towards the ceiling. If you can't get them totally straight because of hamstring limitations, just keep them, whatever the bend in your knee is, just keep it consistent. We're going to let the legs tick to the right, just how we just did, but now they're straight. And then you're going to give an exhale, let them swoop down over the foot bar to the left and back to center. Exhaling. Inhale to the left. Exhale, swoop down over the foot bar to the right and back to center. Inhaling over to the right and exhale around. Our feet should stay perfectly lined up. Inhale to the left. Exhale, swooping down around to the right and back to center. 2 more to the right for 2, keeping that left shoulder blade on the mat. And center, this should be a lot of abdominal work to the left. And swooping down over the foot bar, all the way to the right, back to center. Hold, hug your knees in towards your chest. Take a breather right now, just rolling around on the back for a second. A little happy baby if you need it. And breathe. Whew. We're gonna get you up and off the backs. Start stretching out your hip flexors and hamstrings. Your hip flexors might need a stretch after that last exercise. The dog is finally calmed down. Life is beautiful. For my hip flexor stretches today, I'm going to do it on 1 red and 1 yellow spring. I normally would do kneeling hip flexor and hamstring stretches on 1 green spring, but we're going to be moving on and I'm going to want to drop it down to 1 red. So if you're used to doing it on a green, please do it on a red and a yellow today. I'm going to grab for my knee pads, put them on the machine, kneeling up nice and tall facing my foot bar. Toes tuck under. And there against the shoulder blocks. Starting with my left leg, I'm going to bring my left foot up onto the foot bar. Now the ball of my foot is on and it's in line with my hip socket. So it's not directly in the center. It's not way out to the side. Keeping my fingertips down evenly, press my left leg all the way straight, reaching the heel underneath the foot bar. Swing your right hip forward, drop your left hip down and back and find your stretch. Breathing. Now the further out you push the machine, the more of a hamstring stretch you'll get. The further in you pull the machine, the more of the hip. Whatever your body needs, and let's breathe for about 3 deep breaths right there. Breathe for 3. Inhale, exhale, take 2. Last deep breath right here. Bending your left knee, coming all the way into the start. Pushing your pelvis as far forward as you can. Reach your right arm out to the side and side stretch up and over to the left. Now I'm opening up my right hip flexor, so as a little bit of my right oblique, maybe a little IT band, TFL, depending on where you're tight. Breathe for 3. Inhale, exhale, breathe for 2. Last breath. Replace that right hand back down. Take your left foot off. Bring your right foot up and on. With the right ball of your foot on the foot bar, push the machine open, dropping the heel under if you can get that leg straight. If the leg doesn't go straight because of hamstring limitations, I understand, just do your best. Swing your left hip forward, drop your right hip down and back, and breathe. Once again, the further out you push the machine, the more of the hamstring stretch you'll get. The further in you pull the carriage, the more of a kind of hip piriformis stretch you'll get. And breathe for 3. And take it for 2. Breathe, last 1. Bending your right knee, coming all the way into the stopper. Push your pelvis as far forward as you can. Reach the left arm out to the side and side stretch up and over to the right. Inhaling and exhaling for 3. Breathe, there's 2. Last 1. Replace that right hand down. We're gonna keep your, we'll come back to your right leg. I've got to drop my yellow spring off, so now I'm on one red spring. We're gonna do a little bit of balance work here. So I want you to be very careful. If this doesn't feel good on your body, you can just go back to the hip flexor stretches and do them again. Bringing your right foot back up onto the foot bar. Step 1 is you're gonna take your right hand on your right knee. Step 2 is your left hand on your left knee. Carriage is still at the stopper and you're finding that balance. From here, extend your arms out to the side. They can go on your hips, wherever they need to be. Squeeze your left glute. That's where a lot of your stability is gonna come in, and hopefully your right glute. It's kind of hard to squeeze it because it is in a stretch position. Keeping your torso upright, everybody likes to lean forward on this. We're just gonna push the machine open, finding that balance. And exhale, pull the machine back in. We're gonna go just 7 more. Once again, if this doesn't feel good, just go back and do another set of hip flexor stretches. Taking it out for 6, and bringing it all the way back. Lifting up and out of your spine for 5. Abs are nice and strong. Also, you want to spot on something. Resisting, and we've got 4 more. So I'm looking at a specific tiny spot on my door for 3. Bringing it back. 2 more. Pushing that right leg as straight as you can get it for 2. Mind that balance. Spot on something good. Last one right here. Reach. Once again, squeeze those glutes, bring it all the way in. Replace your fingertips down. Take your right foot back, tuck it under against the shoulder block. We've got 8 to do on the left side. Bring that left foot up and on. My left side is my naughty side, so we'll see how it goes. Hands on top of the knee to start. Find your balance, keep your torso upright, reach those arms out. When ready, push that left leg out as straight as you can get it, and bring it all the way back in towards the stopper. Now you may go about halfway out and go, that's as far as I feel comfortable, and that's fine. Taking it out for 7. Resist and bring the machine back in. Excellent balance exercise. Nice proprioception for 6. Reach. So much harder on this side for me. Bring it back in. I've got to focus that much more for 5. Resisting back. Once again, try not to lean forward. Keeping your chest upright, your core strong for 4. Bringing it back in. 3 more to go right here. Breathe for 3. Hello, glutes. 2 more. Press those 2. Finding that balance. Bringing it all the way back. Pressing out, last one. Bending, coming all the way in. Let your hands come down. Take that foot off. Take a little shake out. Side kneeling arm work. I'm going to 86 my knee pads because I don't need it if I'm going to keep both knees down. Look down into the spring well. I like to do my side kneeling arm work on one blue spring, which is medium strength for that. If you can do it on a red, more power to you. A yellow is also great. If my neck is acting up, I will do this on a yellow because you get the lovely movement out of it and you can work, kind of make yourself work a little bit deeper. But today I'm on a blue. Kneeling up directly in the center of the machine,
I'm starting with my right shoulder towards my risers and my left shoulder towards my foot bar. So if you're backwards from me, just realize everything will be cued backwards. Grab the little loop in your right hand or your strap in your right hand and find a neutral pelvis, neutral spine. So I have a tendency to stick my bum out, so I'm going to drop my tailbone down, lift through my heart, pull my fingertips into a hug-a-tree position. Inhale, opening your arms out to the side. Exhale, close those fingertips for 8. Inhale, opening. Exhale, close, 7. Once again, obliques are doing a lot of work here to stabilize for 6. So I'm feeling my right oblique really working hard right now for 5. Keeping rib cage directly above the pelvis for 4. Sometimes people have a tendency to lean back when they do this for 3. Now, as much as I am working my pec, my chest, I feel a lot of lat right here. Kind of my sides of my rib cage coming down from my armpit for 2. So I'm stabilizing from. Now close and clasp your hands together. The dog is now sleeping. Yay! Twist to the left. That's why he's been quiet. Twist and bring it back around. Whew. Once again, I apologize about all the squeaky noise. For 7, it was the squirrel toy. Twist for 6. Bringing it back around. Last 5. Using your core for 4. My arms are just an extension of my chest. A lot of times in class I would see people just twist from the arms for 3 and not really move their spines. Think about this as rotation of the spine for 2. Last one right here. Twist, bringing it back around. For the next exercise, I like to go onto my long loop. It just feels better for my neck. My hands come right by my ears, my shoulder blades pull down. Pretend like somebody's pulling on your little finger. You're gonna pull down on your shoulder blades, engaging your lats, and you're gonna reach through your little finger for 8. Press 7. Abs to spine, shoulder blades hook down for 6. Breathe 5. Take 4. Once again, engaging the core for 3. Shoulder blades hook down as you reach through the little finger for 2. Last one right here. Press, bringing it all the way down. Yay. Grab for the long loop in your left hand. Your right hand comes down by your side. Pulling sword. So my forearm is not touching my core and it's not way out in front of me. You're kind of splitting the difference and you're only moving from the arm through the fingertips. Body doesn't move. A lot of times you see people sway into this. Once again, think about what's stabilizing. Lead with the left elbow. Press the arm out. There's 8. Now the most important thing, or one of the important things, is right now the back of my hand is facing you. As I extend the movement out, I turn so the front of my hand or the palm of my hand is facing you. So you get that rotation. 6 more. There's 6. Bringing it back around. Taking it for 5. Resisting back. Abs keep carving up and in for 4. We have 3 more right here. There's 3. Whew. Core is strong. Reach for 2. Last one right here. Press right there, bringing it all the way back around. So we're taking it into tricep next. I like to choke back down onto my little loop. I'm gonna walk my knees towards my foot bar. The taller you are, the more you really need to walk out because we've got to take it into side flexion. My right hand is on my shoulder block. I push my pelvis forward as I point my elbow up towards the ceiling. Your humerus, the upper part of your arm, never moves here. You're just moving from your elbow to your fingertips, pressing the arm out for 8. If the strap keeps grabbing you in the head, it means you're dropping your elbow towards the foot bar for 7. Just keep that elbow pointed straight up for 6. Whew. Breathe 5. I always love the side body stretch in this. Push your pelvis as far forward as you can for 4, and you'll get an even deeper stretch for 3. Hello, tricep. Take 2. Last one right here. Press, bringing it all the way back down, replacing that strap onto the peg. We're gonna go into a little bit of abdominal work before we do that opposite side. Otherwise, we'd be starting with the arm we just finished with, and that's a little challenging. I'm on that blue spring. I'm gonna ask you to come to one blue spring to do this jumping ab series. Headrest will be up or down, whatever you prefer. We're gonna lay it all the way back down on our spines, just how we did our footwork. But you will be an inch off the shoulder blocks. So make sure you scoot away a little bit. So I've got a good inch there. Toes on heels, kissed together. Press the machine all the way out to straight legs. So I'm in my small Pilates V and I reach my arms straight up towards the ceiling. We're just gonna start with 3 chest lifts up. Heeling up and off for 3. Letting the head resist back down. Lifting up and off for 2. And inhaling back. Now lift to hold. Hands can stay down by your side or they can come behind the head, whatever best for your body. We're not gonna jump yet. We're just gonna bend our knees in, letting the machine close in towards the stopper and press the legs back out 8 times, holding onto your chest lift. Bending in, press there 7. Resisting in, squeezing those heels together for 6. Bend. Pelvis stays in that nice neutral position for 5. In a perfect world, your shoulder blades would be off the mat. Taking it out for 4. 3 more, there's 3. The reason why we do this and we don't jump to start is we want the proprioception, where we want our body to find where the foot bar is for 2 once we do get jumping. Press to hold. Now we're gonna take a jump. So keep your eye point, keep gazing exactly in between your toes on the foot bar so you know where to land. Bend your knees in, exhale, press, jump 8, and land. Point those toes, make the feet look pretty for 7. Breathe 6. Abs to spine 5. Pelvic floor is your toes, leave the foot bar for 4. 3. Take 2. And last 1. Come all the way in, have a rest, bob around in the water, kind of just take a moment. Next set is you're gonna squeeze the knees and feet together, toes on, everything's parallel and lock in towards one another. My ankles are touching, my knees are touching, my inner thighs are touching. Press the legs out to hold. Reach the arms straight up towards the ceiling, chest lift up to pause. Bring your right leg into tabletop. We're gonna do 8 jumps on our left leg, switch in midair, 8 jumps on our right leg. Hands can be down by your side or behind your head, whatever feels best for you. Bend that left knee in, exhale, jump at 8. Once again, your gaze is still at the foot bar for 7. Breathe 6. Abs to spine 5. Pelvic floor as you jump for 3. Can you get those shoulder blades up and off the mat for 2? Switch in midair, land on your right leg. Give me 8 jumps right there. 8. Breathe 7. Exhale 6. Every time you jump, Kegel muscle 5. Curling up even higher for 4. Breathe 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. Come all the way in, let your head rest down, bob around in the water. Our next set is we're going to alternate which leg we land on. So it's a single leg stretch for the first 8 count, just resting right now. And then the second 8, we're gonna rotate our upper body towards the knee that's in. This one, the first time you do it, if you've never done this before, it's rubbing the head, patting the belly. Also, it gets a little bit more tricky on the second 8 count because you're not gonna be looking at the foot bar per se, because you're gonna be rotating. So hopefully our body now knows where the foot bar is so it knows where to land. Just don't stub your toe. Squeeze the knees and feet together. Bring your arms straight up towards the ceiling, chest lift up to hold. Bring your right leg into tabletop. We're gonna jump off our left leg, land on the right leg. So bend your left knee in, press jump, land on your right toe. Press jump, I should say ball of the foot. Breathing. Here's 6. Switching the legs for 5. Breathe 4. 3. Take 2. Now if your hands are not behind the head, take them behind your head, last 1. So I'm gonna twist towards my left knee because it's coming in, land on my right foot. Jump, twist towards my right leg, land on my left foot. Keep alternating. Got this for 6. Breathe 5. I think I added a few in, but that's okay for 4.
3, up and over with that chest for 2, and last 1, and come all the way and land, bob around in the water for a moment, let the arms just fall out to the side, take 2 deep breaths, and now we get to finish off your other arm. So let's get you up and off your back, kneeling up. I'm gonna be facing my pirate painting or away from the camera. Once you come all the way up, we are right now on that blue spring. If you were doing your arm work on a yellow, it's a great time to switch that out. So we keep it even, right to left. Kneeling up, facing the opposite direction. Make sure you're directly in the center of your machine. And I'm gonna start with a little loop in my left hand. Dropping my tailbone down, lifting up through my heart. Core is strong. Pull your fingertips together right on in front of you for your hug-a-tree. Inhale, opening your arms out. Exhale, close 8. Inhale, exhale, take it for 7. Breathe for 6. Inhale, opening out. Exhale, take it for 5. 4 more right here, there's 4. Breathe for 3. My left oblique is really working hard here to help me stabilize for 2. Last one, close and clasp those hands together. We're gonna rotate. Rotate to the right for 8. And bring it back around. Remember, arms are just an extension of the spine for 7. It's really the spine doing the twisting, not just moving from the arms for 6. Bringing it back around. There's 5. Rotating. 4 more right here, twist for 4. Back around. 3 more, there's 3. Abs to spine, shoulder blades hooked down for 2. Twist, last 1, rotate. Bring it back around. I'm gonna now use my long loop, take my hands right by my ears, pull my shoulder blades down, back the neck is long. When ready, press those arms straight up towards the ceiling. There's 8. Resisting back, press for 7. Abs to spine, shoulder blades hooked down for 6. Breathe 5, a lot of pelvic floor here. Here's 4, reaching through the pinky side of my hand, pulling down on my shoulder blade for 3. 2 more, press for 2. Last one right here, reach, bringing it all the way down, pulling sword. So I'm gonna take my long loop in my right hand. My arm that was just working comes down by my side. I've got a bend in my elbow. We're pulling a sword out of a sheath. So we're gonna lead with the elbow and take the arm out. The strap is now hooked around my thumb when I'm on the out, and then I bring and replace that sword back down. There's 7. Abs keep scooping up and in for 6. Take it for 5. This is a lot of posterior delt, so the cap of the shoulder towards the back side of the body. For 4. In a perfect world, our core never moves. It's just the arm for 3. Sometimes we're twisted to lean into it for 2, but keep stable with the core. Last 1, bringing it all the way back. Tricep work. So I'm going to flip my hand in the strap, walk my knees towards my foot bar, push my pelvis as far forward as I can, point my elbow up towards the ceiling, taking a nice side body stretch. Feels quite lovely. Once again, don't drop your elbow. You're just moving from the elbow towards the fingertips for 8. If you drop your elbow towards the foot bar, for 7, your strap is gonna grab you in the head. Breathe 6. Feels lovely for 5. There's 4. With this, you can look up, you can look forward, or you can look down at your left hand for 3. 2 more. 2. Last one right here. Press, replace that strap all the way down onto the peg. Take a little breather. We have just enough time for a little down stretch and down stretch with rotation, which we do on 1 red spring. So add on your red, get rid of the blue. And you can do down stretch on a blue spring, which is gonna be a lot more work for the core, less work for the shoulders. Do it on a yellow, but that's challenging. Or you can do it on a green spring, which is gonna be a lot more upper body. So once again, we can always play with spring tension. Sometimes it makes it harder, sometimes it makes it easier. I do like my knee pads for down stretch, so I'm gonna put my knee pads back on.
Kneel up, face your foot bar. And because I'm like that, I'm gonna line my knee pads up perfectly. Keeping the carriage at the stopper, hands go nice and wide onto the foot bar. Push your pelvis as far forward as you can and lift up through the heart. You don't want to be sagging in your shoulders right now. Lift up and out of the movement as much as you can. Without changing the shape of the body, push the machine open, lowering your pelvis down towards the ground, and then squeeze the glutes, engage the pelvic floor, shoulder blades pull down, bring yourself up and forward for 8. Press the machine open. You're going down as you press out, why we call it down stretch. Bring it up and forward for 7. Length. Shoulders hook down, a lot of core as you bring yourself forward for 6. People have a tendency to stick their bum out as you go back. Fight against that. Keep your pelvis forward and low. There's 5. Pressing out. Taking it up and forward for 4. Reaching away. Squeezing the glutes back. The neck is long for 3. Shoulder blades hook down. Taking it up and forward. There's 2. Pressing out. Bringing it up and forward. Last one. Unfurl those toes. Press back into child's pose. Open up that low back. Take a few breaths right there. Now we're going to do down stretch with rotation. So we rotate as the carriage comes back in, which always kind of confuses people a little bit. If you haven't done this one before, maybe watch the first 2 and then jump in, or have your, if you're watching on your phone, have it just down here on the frame of the machine under the foot bar. So we don't take our hands as wide as we can on this. We bring them in so they're about shoulder distance, maybe even a little bit tighter. The first press out's a little bunchy, so just bear with me. Push your pelvis as far forward as you can, lift up through the heart. And yes, your chest is a little bit in the way, but we'll get over that in a second. Push the machine all the way out and hold. So the machine is open, your pelvis is low. I'm going to release my right hand as I pull the carriage in. My right arm twists up and around and I look back at my right fingertips. I push the machine open with my left shoulder. I replace my right hand down. Now I release my left hand and I twist up and over. My gaze follows the arm that's I think about it as a rainbow coming up and around. And it goes up and back as you push the machine open. To the right for 6. Feels really lovely on the spine. And back around. To the left for 5. Opening out and bringing it around. To the right for 4. Twist. And reaching it back up and around. You will get a little shift to the pelvis, and that's fine for 3. Resisting back. To the right for 2. Opening up. Bringing it back down. And to the left, last one. Twist, bringing it all the way back down. Keep both hands down, walk them out just a little bit. Squeeze the glutes, push the pelvis low, lift up and forward. Press back into child's pose. Let your low back open up. Take a breath, or 2 or 3 right there. We'd just like to say thank you for showing up to class today. I really appreciate you are here. Hope you have a beautiful day. I apologize about the squeaky toys, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.